Peoria's Comedy Club has been there for 30 years, narrowly survived COVID, and is still putting on shows. But it may not be around much longer. WCBU correspondent Molly Hughes reports.
The roof is partly collapsed, the federal money never came in, and Dan Conlin has still not missed a show in 25 years.
It's just always been about having enough money to pay the bills and then having another week of shows.
Which is fine.
Dan Conlin bought the Peoria-based Jukebox Comedy Club in May of 2000. He runs it, manages it, books it, and fixes the sound system and toilets when they break. For the first 20 years, that was enough. Then the pandemic hit.
And so I thought it's very irresponsible for me to be open. And so I tried to stay closed as long as I could, even though it was completely crushing me financially. I mean, it was unbearable.
He closed for 11 months, longer than the state required. When the Jukebox reopened, Conlin applied for a federal grant for shuttered venue operators. $16.1 billion set aside for performing arts venues that went dark during COVID. He spent weeks pulling together over 40 documents. He never got any money. While Conlin got nothing, NPR reported that prominent musicians used the program to fund lavish lifestyles. Lil Wayne received $8.9 million. Conlin was told,
"We've already allocated all the money." I said, all $16.1 billion is already, well, that's what it's showing here. At that point, I'm like, I'm in trouble.
Things got so bad, Conlin says, he lost his liquor license last fall. The comedy club is now running on a soda and ice cream shake menu. But the Jukebox is more than a business. It's where Peoria's comedy community lives.
All right, guys, give it up for your next comic, Dusty Fitzgerald.
It brings in not just comedians, but patrons from all over the region. Here's comedian Trey Mauder.
People from Springfield come up, people from Bloomington come over, people from Champaign or from the Quad Cities. They know they can come here and not just do their comedy, and that kind of holds the comedy scene together.
Here's comedian Rowan Hanold. Hanold has only been doing comedy for a year. He says the club mirrors the city itself.
There's like a grittiness to it, and I think we kind of have a chip on our shoulder, which I like having. And I feel the same way about this club. I think it's been through so much, and it just kind of is a really good representation of what I think a lot of the people have experienced in Peoria.
Hillary Lewis has been going to the Jukebox for laughs for 3 years. She says the club means something beyond comedy.
There's a lot of crap going on in the world, and there is nothing wrong with coming in and getting your laugh on, and I think that's important that we keep it.
But it's getting harder for comedy clubs to survive. Heath Thornton has been doing stand-up for nearly 11 years. His first open mic was at the Jukebox.
Some of the institutions that create good stand-ups have struggled. Like a famous New York club called Caroline's closed just for laughs. In Montreal, closed up shop for a little bit. Clubs in general are kind of struggling right now. If the Jukebox closed, there would be no replacing it because Dan comes from a comedy school which doesn't exist anymore.
Dan Conlin is known in Peoria as much for his temper as for his club. His intolerance for hecklers is no secret, and by his own admission, he sometimes took it too far.
I can be so mean sometimes, but I was just too harsh about it, you know? So, I mean, I would say to people that have had bad experience because of something I've done, I'm sorry.
Longtime customer Hillary Lewis says there is another side to Conlin's sometimes gruff exterior.
He's also really good with anyone who's down on their luck. They can come in, give them something to eat. He treats them like human beings.
Conlin says asking for help is the one thing he wishes he'd done more of. He's doing it now.
Hopefully some awesome days are ahead because I really, honest to God, I don't want to do anything else.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
The question hanging over it all, over the milkshakes, the roof leaks, the 2-hour drives, and the stray cats, is not whether people love this place. They clearly do. The question is whether love is enough to keep the lights on. I'm Molly Hughes.
And I'm Rich Straker. You're listening to Morning Edition on WCBU.